Hi. It's windy out there. It's kind of chilly, huh? It's kind of chilly. You gotta get dressed. Where are you going? You gotta come back and get dressed, you silly girl. What do I got going on here? What the heck? There it is. Oh, my leggies. I got goosebumps. Because that wind is chilly. It's chilly. It just picked up too. It wasn't even windy a half hour ago. It was just dead calm. Now it is cold. Like, what the hell? It was, yeah, 60 degrees outside. But gosh dang, that wind feels freaking cold. Well, I guess I don't know if it's 60 or not. It's probably not 60. Gosh dang, something. I don't know what it is. Like an hour ago, probably. I was just sitting here drinking my coffee, and all of a sudden, I just had a sneezing fit. Like, I don't know what it was. Like freaking 10 freaking sneezes right in a row. And then, like, right after I got done sneezing, then my dog started sneezing. So something was flying in the air that was making us sneeze. I don't know what it was. Something. Oh, her blanket fell out the back. Heck. How did she do that? Gosh dang, that wind actually did get really cold. What's up with that? Well, I mean, the wind was probably always cold. It just picked up. I mean, literally like 20 minutes ago, it was dead calm. I'll wait for my dog to come back so I can get her dressed. problem is I don't even know where she's at because I don't have her bell on her yet because she's not dressed. So I can't hear where she's at. So we'll just wait. She'll come back. My dog will come back. I guess I can get you guys on the gimbal while I'm waiting. Sorry. I don't know where she went. She's usually... like she's been up until a couple minutes ago. She kept running up and jumping up in the van, like making sure I was still getting ready. Nari, come here. Where the heck did she go? Because I don't even see her. I should be able to see her. I can see a long ways. Where the heck did my dog go? And then I've called for her, and she usually comes back. Like pretty quick. Nari, come! Where did she go? Nari, come! Oh gosh dang, she was way the F up there. She's running down the road. Jeez, what the hell is her deal? It's like she freaking ran to the top already. Like, come on. I was originally going to go that way just to get the extra vert, but I don't know. There's a part of me that really wants to just go down the trail. I'll only get about 1,400 feet, but good girl. I don't know why you were wandering so far. Yeah, why were you going so far? Where are you going? Hold on, I gotta put your bell on too. Gotta put your bell on. Where's it at? Yeah, I'm okay with you wandering around. Just don't go so far. You went a long ways. Here you go. There you go. Good job. Thank you for finally coming back. It only took me yelling at you for like 3 or 4 times. I forgot to fix this. Can I just take care of this now? I'm gonna have to. Just trying to shove it in here for now, I guess. Doing a little repairs on the vest. I don't know how well that's gonna hold, but you know, whatever. As long as it holds a little bit, makes it through the day. Thinking on Saturday. Or maybe Sunday, we'll see. Thinking about doing, I still haven't done a Streamiversary yet. So as long as, I don't know what the mountain looks like. Actually, I'm probably not going to do it. Maybe Sunday I'll do it. Or maybe Monday, I guess. One of the days. Weekend would be the best. I don't really want to go to the top because there's that guy somewhere up there. So we're going to go this way. I think she went right back up that way again. Like, come on. I still don't hear her. I should definitely be able to hear her now. She has her bell on. I mean, she's standing still somewhere. Sorry. Oh, okay, you're good. Good job. Good girl. Good girl, yeah. Okay, she actually went down this way. That's why I couldn't see her. Because then all of a sudden I heard her because she was running back to me. Oh, my throat feels rough and my nose is kind of congested because of that sneezing fit that I had. Anyways, what I was thinking of doing for my long run would be up and downs on Mount Helena, and it would make, that'd be a good like little streamiversary stream. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And maybe do something like for every sub, maybe do an extra lap. Now that could get dangerous. If all of a sudden I get raided by somebody and someone gifts like 10 subs, and then another person gifts 5 subs, and then another person, like, I won't be able to continue on. Like, it'll turn into a 5-day stream just so I can finish up all the up downs, which is fine, but I had something real sugary a little bit ago, and I got that film in my mouth, type of thing, and it's like, I suppose I can change the camera view. You guys don't have to stare at my ugly mug. Look at the pretty views. There we go. Take it easy down to the trailhead here, or the trail junction, I should say. It's hard to see because I'm looking straight into the sun, and I got a little bit of a film on my sunglasses, so it's hard for me to look down because of the glare. Forgot. Whenever I change my camera view, I always have to open my dashboard back up again. Like, I have to close it in order to change camera views. So I can't see that. I always forget I can't see my dashboard. Oh, see how well this goes. I learned a trick yesterday, or last night I should say, because I've been thinking about, there's a mandatory I think it's either 4 liters or 5 liters you have to carry for the first section in my race of water. Like it's either 4 or 5 liters of water you have to carry. I don't remember what. My dog is cutting across because she knows the trail is over there. I learned a trick last night listening to the Conversational Pace podcast, or while I was watching it, but from Rod Farber, he was talking about using his pole quiver to carry an extra water bottle, and it fits like in there perfectly. And I'm thinking about it, I just thought of that now because my poles are bouncing back and forth. But at the beginning of the race, where I have to carry all that extra water, I was like, how am I going to carry that much freaking water? Like, I have a 2-liter bladder. I don't even think it's 2 liters, probably a 1.5 liter bladder that I can put in my running pack. And then, like, 2 bottles is a liter. So that's like, like freaking 4 bottles in my bladder at a minimum. That's if I have a 2-liter bladder. It's like, how am I going to carry that much? And then I was like, oh, I can probably fit, because I'm going to be using my poles, so I can probably fit 2 bottles in my pole quiver. That'll be 1 liter right there. My legs feel really tired today. I don't know why. Like even this running right here, I'm like I can feel it in my legs, which is unusual. Like last night, my legs felt great. Why? I'm waking up today and they just feel like tired. Even yesterday's run, I mean, we took it really easy, but my legs felt peppy. It was just my body that didn't feel very good, energetic. And now my body feels fine, but my legs feel tired. One thing I don't get is I'll watch my dashboard and it'll be like, I'll have 4 or 5 people watching, and then it's like they all text each other and they're like, okay, we're all gonna stop watching right now, because I'll go from like 4 people to 1. Or at least that's what my dashboard says. It's like, I could see it if it was like, if I had like 4 or 5 people on. And then after a couple minutes I had, went down 1 person, and then a couple more minutes went down another person. But it's never like that. It's always, I got 12 people on. 30 seconds later, not even 30 seconds later, I have 2 people. It's like, is it because I said something? I was talking about my pole quiver. Like, did I offend people talking about a pole quiver? So everybody left. I get it. Oh. realistically, yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. I might just skip my run tomorrow and just drive further today. I don't know. Honestly, can't really do that. But, I mean, I could. I don't know. Because we could make it to partway up Utah tonight. And then tomorrow I would only have like a 10-hour, probably about 10 hours of driving. Where if I go where I want to go tonight, then I would have, and then we run in the morning. I wouldn't be able to live stream it because it is remote. And so that would take, so the earliest we would be on the road would probably be 10, but that's really 11 because I'm going to instantly lose an hour right after we get going. So then and then from there I would have, what is it, like a 12 hours? Yeah, it's probably about 12 hours of driving. Maybe it might be a little more than that. 13 hours, I don't remember. No, I think it's closer to 12. That put me in at like midnight. That's if we're traveling well. Hello. First stab meeting, nice. Cool. I start to hate it. Oh, she's chasing a rabbit. I actually like driving, but my dog used to be like a really good travel companion, but something happened, I don't know, 6 months ago now. It's like she gets really super anxious for no reason. Like, I don't get it. And so it is like hard to travel with her because I have to do something to like basically separate her. She used to just hang out over on her seat. Just sometimes sleep, sometimes sit up and look out the window. Now she's freaking standing up way over into my space. She tries to like lean up against my arm, my right arm, while pushing forward to put her chin on the dash. And then because the space is so small between my steering wheel and the freaking computer screen, she's like really pushing against my hand and the steering wheel. So then it's hard to steer, as well as half the time she freaking hits the windshield wipers thing because she's pushing in so hard. And then with her back end, she starts like almost twerking against your elbow, but she's not really. It's more like she's trying to kickstart a motorcycle. So her butt keeps hitting your elbow, and every now and then she hits it like right where you pushes your arm over. I'd be fine if she wants to sit on my lap. I'd be fine with it. Although in Arizona they just passed a law saying that that's illegal now. I'm like, really? That's the stuff you're concerned about? Because it's you know, distracted driving or whatever. And I'm like, my dog's just sitting there chilling. Like, why would that be distracted driving? People that are freaking eating their McDonald's while driving down the interstate at, you know, 80 miles an hour are more distracted than my dog. But whatever. But I'd be fine with that if she just wanted to sit on my lap. But she won't do it. She just sits there and just the whole time. Like we'll drive for 14 hours and she won't sleep at all. Won't sit down, won't do anything. And I know she's super tired because she freaking, like, we'll stop for gas. While I'm fueling up, she instantly, like, just curls up in the seat and goes to sleep. Like in the 10 minutes it takes for us at the gas station. Not much room for me to drive. Yeah. Yeah, she's only 40 pounds. But like my last Vizsla, she went through a little bit of a phase, but nothing like this. Like, she wasn't like doing like this little butthead. Like, her phase was, I can't sleep while you're driving, but I'm just gonna sit in the seat and like stare out the window. And then later on, when she got a little bit older, she was like, I could sleep, but she wanted to sleep by just putting her head, like laying her head on my lap, which I was fine with. And the rest of her was over, you know, in the seat next to me. That was fine. This little butthead, like on the drive, even over here, she was like, when we were in the stop and go traffic, I don't know why my legs are so tired today. Gosh dang. Trying to get around that construction zone. She was like standing up, falling asleep. And all of a sudden you just be sitting there, and all of a sudden she would just fall over, and most of the time it was falling over into my arm holding onto the steering wheel. So then I'm like almost veering off the freaking highway. And it's like, just lay down, go to sleep, you fool. She used to sleep most of the time. Like, one dog wants to have his front legs on the floor of the car and hind legs on the seat. That's kind of funny. Well, she can't, even if she wanted to do that, she can't, because I built like a little platform. So it's a little bit like that, sits over the seat so that it goes all the way to the dash. So she can't even get to the floor, even if she wanted to. And that way I can store stuff down there while we're driving too, which is usually her stuff. Like her treat and toy bag. It's usually what I keep underneath that. Yeah, I don't know what her deal is. Like, and it was a progression. I remember the time it changed. And it was, we were like 2 days in to our cross-country trip. And we'd already done like long trips, like multi-day trips. It's not like this was our first multi-day trip. And so she would have been what? That was in June. So she would have been like 7 months old. So before that, she would just mostly sleep, but also sit up every now and then and look out the window. But she would just be over in her seat. And then, yeah. We made it to Iowa. So it was day 2 of our trip
driving from Montana to New Hampshire. And made it to Iowa. And we stopped to get a run in at it might have been like Sioux City. I don't even know if it was Sioux. It had to have been Sioux City because it was along a river path. We went for a run. We got done with the run and we were driving through Iowa, and all of a sudden she was like, she had to just be sitting right next to me. Like her butt was right by my right hip and my elbow, you know, she was like all nestled in right there. And she stopped, like she would not sleep anymore. But she had to just be sitting there watching. And occasionally, like she'd be shifting her butt to where if you weren't paying attention, she would have her butt on top of your right leg. Well, granted, I mean, she's still pretty small by then, only 7 months old. And then that's what she did for probably, let's see, that was June. So it would have been at least 3 months. That's what she did. No matter what, she had to be sitting right there. And I always thought maybe it was because I had my new tires. Well, yeah, let me back up. If we were going highway speed, that's how she had to be. If we were doing below, like, you know, 35, 40 miles an hour, city driving or whatever, yeah, she would just lay down over in her seat. She didn't care. But as soon as you would get up to like 55, 60 or more, she would stand up and had to sit right next to you. And so I always thought, well, maybe it's just the whine, because right before that trip is where I got my off-road tires, so they're a little bit noisier. And so then you get up to speed and you could hear, you know, audibly hear the whine. Refuse to lay down any speed. But so she did that for like, that was her MO for another 3 months after that. And then all of a sudden, it was after we got back from Mammoth Trail Fest, like Mammoth Trail Fest even, all the way driving back from that. Actually, no, we got back, it would have been later. So that would have been October. She was still that way even. Sometime after, because we drove all the way down here to Javelina and she was still fine. So sometime after Javelina, so the end of October, I think, like she progressively got to the point where she had to stand. Like she couldn't sit anymore. She would have to stand. But it was the same type of thing. It was if we were doing below a certain speed, she'd just lay down and chill in the seat or sit there. But as soon as we got up to a certain speed, then she had to stand up and be right next to you instead of sitting next to you. And then that changed to no matter what speed you're going, I'm going to be standing next to you, smacking your elbow with my ass as I'm trying to kickstart a motorcycle. That's literally what it looks like. She picks up her leg that's closest to you, her back leg, and it's like she's, I don't know if she's trying to put it on top of your elbow or what. But she'll just like pick it up and put it down, pick it up, put it down, like she's kickstarting a motorcycle constantly. Well, because she's doing that, her body's shifting, so she's just banging into your arm the whole time. It's like, I don't know what the hell her deal is. Hi, sweet girl. Yeah, you're running around like a crazy girl. So you're already thirsty. And wait. Nari, come here. Oh, maybe that person's going the other way. I heard a vehicle, so they must have already gone by. I didn't want her to get ran over. We're getting close to the road. But anyways, so this whole trip now of us driving around here, I've tried a couple different things. I took her old kennel because she's too big for it, but I just cut, because it was one of those wire kennels, and I cut one of the sides off and used that as a barrier. Like I was able to, because it just fits like almost kind of perfectly right next to the, like in the little thing in the seat, and that way she's forced to stay over in her seat. That lasted like a couple hours, because then the whole time, instead of having to deal with her banging into my arm or whatever, she would try and climb up over the front of the dash, because of course the wire crate thingy isn't going over the dash. So she would be trying to climb up on top of the dash, and while doing that would be hitting every single freaking button and whatever else on my screen in the dash. And then if she wasn't doing that, then she was trying to climb up the back of the seat and try and get around it that way. And so it just caused a fight of her trying to do that. And before that, I was like just lifting up my center console thing that I built, and that way she couldn't she couldn't like stand there, because there was be nothing there for her to stand on. And that worked for about a day. But then she would just try and step over it. And so I would constantly be pushing her back. So the last trip coming up this way, I freaking like shortened her little seatbelt thing in and tried to clip it to her harness, but the shortest thing I can do with her seatbelt and her harness, she would still be up over next to me, because of course, you know, the seatbelt thing on that side is closest to me. If it was on the other side, it wouldn't be a big deal. And then, so I was like, well, that doesn't work. So I was like, so this last trip, I was like, I'll just hook it right onto her collar. And she sat there like the whole drive up from the Tucson area, or past Tucson. She was like freaking just pulling on that as hard as she could. Like it's like looked like she was gonna break her neck. And it did help a lot. Like she couldn't get as close as she wanted to me. And occasionally she started going back to where she was just sitting, like right next to me, and I was okay with that. It's like, if you do that, I'm okay. It's when you're freaking trying to rest your chin on the dash in between my computer screen and the steering wheel, and then twerking next to me. That's what I can't have. It's like, if you wanted to be in your seat and just have your chin on the dash, fine, I don't care. Even though I don't like that, because she is off balance that way. Dogs are cracking, sorry, I know. There's working dogs in the car. Well, I don't know. Like, I even bought, before we came back down here, so this would have been late December, just because of what she was doing, I was like thinking maybe you know, something is stressing her out, making her all anxious. I don't know why. I don't know what happened to make her that way. But it's not like I slammed on the brakes or drove erratic before she started having her issues. But anyways, I bought some of them calming chew things, hoping that might help. And they might help a little bit, but all I think those do is just make her sleepy. But she's like a freaking toddler that doesn't want to go to sleep. So I think really it just makes her more, she's still just as anxious and stressed out, but now she's grouchy because she doesn't want to go to sleep. And she fights to sleep. But if she doesn't like snap out of it, because we got a lot of traveling to do this summer, so if she doesn't snap out of it, I'm just gonna have to buy a bigger crate. And Arizona had to pass that law. And that's not even with her sitting on my lap. Actually, if she would just sit on my lap, it'd be fine. Although 40 pounds after 10 hours of sitting on your lap will make your feet and ankles all swollen. It restricts your blood flow. She's all like, hey, what's my, I don't know what it is about. I just going to sleep. I know, like usually, like we're just in the van hanging out like after a run or whatever, and I'm working on the computer or doing whatever. She does not resist going to sleep. Or at nighttime when it's bedtime. That's her, like when she knows it's bedtime, she gets excited because she gets to go to sleep. Well, it's like I remember my last Vizsla, she was hilarious. Like her first couple years when I was living in my condo still in Helena. This is before we moved to DC. And at like usually around 9 o'clock at night, she'd be trying to tell me she wanted to go to bed. And at some point, you know, 9:30 or whatever, she'd finally give up. And she would literally grab her blanket and start walking towards the bedroom. But she would keep stopping like every, you know, few steps and looking at you to, as if saying like, come on, it's time to go to bed. And she would just slowly drag her blanket to the bedroom and keep looking at you to let you know that, hey, it's bedtime. It's like you could easily just sleep on the couch right next to me while I'm watching TV or whatever, but she's like, nope, it's bedtime, let's go. Now that we're out of that wind, it is getting hot out here. Hot. I don't know what this little butthead did last night. What she got into. I'm guessing it was these tiny little, I don't know what kind of cactus it is. This little cholla looking cactus. I'm guessing that's what she got into, but she had freaking little cactus needles all over her. So I don't know what she was chasing, what she got into, but she still has like probably 5 or 6 of them in her, but when I was trying to pull them out last night, they broke off pretty short. So I need to catch her in the right moment and get my tweezers out so I can try and get a hold of them. Yeah, she was like I think it was these things right here is what she got into. In fact, I'm almost positive now that I look a little bit closer at that. That is exactly what a lot of those needles look like. Whew. You had your VO2. Oh, nice. So how was it running with a mask on? That was the hardest part for me. The last time I've been tested multiple times, but running with that stupid mask on. Ow. Stepped on a rock. Kind of weird and it hurt. You know what? The tube kept smacking me in the chest, yeah. 44, that's pretty good. That's higher than most people are. I haven't been tested for a long time, but I was never super high because a lot of VO2 is genetics. I never turned this overlay on. I'll turn it on now, but I'm going to take the mileage thing off because it's going to be wrong. Two HR monitor slipped off in the middle of the incline test. Superior for your age? Yeah, that's pretty good, like I said. There we go. Well, my overlay should be on now, working. Maybe they wanted my zones, yeah. Yeah, I think the highest I ever liked, like when I was in my best shape, actually when I was in my best shape, I never tested, but before that, I think I had like, it was like at 57 or 59 or something, because no matter what, genetics has a big part in what you can do. Like, you can improve your VO2 max, but some people like me, the best fitness I'm in, you know, trying to increase my VO2 max, whatever level I'm at, is what somebody that with their genetics has a high VO2 max, like a Jim Walmsley or somebody, or a Matt Carpenter. He was famous for the highest that they've ever found, like when he tested. But like, they're not even having any fitness, like never working out, is higher than me, you know, doing it. Like, it's like, take somebody like Sage Canaday, and a couple years ago, well, it's probably been 4 years ago now, he had a bilateral pulmonary embolism. Is that what it is? Like blood clots in both his lungs. So now he doesn't have full capacity of his lungs anymore, but his VO2 max now is limited as it is. And it's like, he got tested and his VO2 max is about 15 points lower now. But it's still higher than mine ever was. So I think he's like a mid-70s kind of guy. But his running economy is pretty high too. So he can still compete because his running economy is so high, even though his VO2 max is lower. Now, he'll never win races like he was, but he's also a little bit older now too. Whew. Took longer to run the test, yeah. Yep. The setup always takes the longest. Oh man. My legs today just feel really tired, and there's no reason for it. Yesterday was an easy day, but man, my legs just feel tired. And it sucks because I was hoping to be able to run up this thing at a decent click. Oh, just so I don't have as much stream issues, because I do get little periods where my signal's blocked, like right now. I don't want to take the time to look at my dashboard to see if I'm still streaming, but this is definitely because my legs feel so tired. It's like making my heart rate go way up, and oh, holy cow. Okay, I don't care what the stream is doing, I gotta take a break. Oh, I mean, we were doing a 8:30 pace uphill. It's not that uphill though. What are we at? Like a, yeah, it's only 7% grade. For some reason though, it feels extra hard. That's what she said. Free watch the initial appointment. Nice. Can never be mad about that. Hard part for me, like being in Montana, maybe it's changed now. There might be some labs somewhere in Montana that can do it, but other than like the two major universities, which would, you know, sometimes you could get in and get tested because they would be, you know, training students and stuff on some of that stuff, because both programs have a pretty good sports science degree. So they had the equipment to do it and all that. So sometimes you can sign up and then that would be for free in order to get tested. But a lot of times it was like the closest I could do. Hello. Thank you. So that's why I very infrequently got tested. Ooh. I was expecting to see mountain bikers. I was thinking about this yesterday after we got back from our run yesterday morning, and I don't know if it was the person that lost the Motorola went and found and picked it up, or somebody else going down the trail was like, oh, Motorola. But it wasn't there. So it was there the night before, but it wasn't there the next day. Or no, that might have been 2 nights ago. No, it would have been that. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever it was. I just noticed it was gone yesterday. Whew. We're getting into the steeper stuff now. It is getting tough. Try and get back up here. Signal. Whew. I should have signal yet. Right out Windows 7. Seems super windy out. Well, there's a little bit of a breeze, but when I woke up this morning, like even 20 minutes before we left this morning, it was dead calm. But then when we went to leave, I could feel that breeze starting to pick up. There's a little bit of a breeze. We'll feel it for sure once we get closer to the top, especially once we get on top. But it's only like, I'd say maybe a 5 mile an hour breeze right now. It'll be more than that on top. Oh man. Oh. My leggies, I keep saying this. My leggies are tired. I don't know what it is with today. Like, I ate a decent meal. Like, I drank a lot of water last night. So I was well hydrated. Like throughout the night I drank like freaking, oh geez, probably 40 ounces throughout the night. I had to fill my 20-ounce bottle up twice. And it was empty this morning, so, or almost. So, I only drank a little bit. But it was pretty warm inside the van. That's one reason why I had to keep drinking. So I'd wake up. That's probably why I feel so tired today. It's probably not my legs, it's probably me. Because I didn't sleep very well. Maybe it's a listen to your body day. It definitely is, but I need to try and push through. The one good thing about days like today, mentally, for my race, I'm gonna have to push through when my body's tired. So this is a good training day, just to push through that. But yeah, I think around 9 o'clock last night, I was like, about ready for what? Right about 11 o'clock last night, she woke me up because she just had to go potty. I'm like, you little butthead. And then, of course, she proceeded to drink a lot more water, so then she woke me up again a few hours later. Then also, I had like dessert last night, which was a lot of sugar. And I think that affected me because I was just kind of restless too. So I even just had a hard time sleeping. Because I've been laying off the sugar the last couple months. I've been doing really good because desserts, like pastries, that kind of stuff, and me, we have a relationship, let's say. It's like when I was married, my ex-wife would always joke about how the only person she had to worry about me having an affair with was little Debbie. And it was true. Good to chat, yeah. Thanks for stopping by. You'll probably have your meeting. I'll still be on. They're going to be on for at least another, I don't know, how long are we in here? Almost an hour, I guess. So probably another hour and a half, I would bet. We got, actually no, it's going to be probably at least 2 hours. The way I'm moving, I probably got an hour till we get to the top. Now on the way down, we should be moving a lot faster. It's going to take an hour to get down, but it'll take me 2 hours to get up. I have a horrible relationship with sweets. I cannot walk by the Little Debbie aisle in the grocery store because if I see, but afterwards, yeah, thanks. Like if they're on sale, because you buy them by the carton, by the box, they're way cheaper than if you buy things individually. So then I'm like, oh, I need travel snacks or whatever. Yeah, I don't need travel snacks. The worst part is I'll eat like, we're like a box. I don't just buy one box because then I can never decide what ones I want between the what are those peanut butter ones? The Nutter or something. And then the oatmeal cream pies and the freaking Swiss rolls and the honey buns. And I'll be like, well, I don't know which one I want. So then I buy boxes of everything. Well, that's enough that should easily last like a month. 2 days later, I'm eating the last of everything. It's like, that's why I just can't have sweets. I used to take and run when I was working in Butte. I'd go for a run at lunchtime. And I would run down to the Dairy Queen, which was about 2 miles away. And then I would buy a box of dilly bars. And this is like in the summertime, so it's pretty hot out. But I would buy a box of dilly bars, sit outside the Dairy Queen, demolish the entire box of dilly bars. What is there, like 6 or 8 or something in a box? Just eat them all and then run back to work. 4 miles of running is not enough to burn off. Like, there is zero truth in the, if you burn an engine hot enough, you can burn anything. That is not correct. I mean, technically it is true, but definitely not healthy. But so yeah, technically, yeah, I can burn all those ice creams. Problem is 4 miles, I'm burning what, like 300 or 400 calories, and that was, you know, 3,000 calories worth of stuff. Oh man. So we're at the 4 mile mark. So we got about a little over 5K to the top. I don't think we're gonna get 15. I think we're only gonna get 14. I couldn't remember. Well, if we would have gone up the ridge and then over here, we would be at 15, but because we didn't do that, we're gonna be doing a 14 miler, which I'm fine with. I'm perfectly fine with. So I think we just have a freaking 5K to the top left. And of course, it's the steepest part of the climb too. Well, actually that last mile is not steep at all. These next 2 miles are the steepest part. Once we get to the first saddle, which is about 2 miles from here, then it's not as steep. Up to that point, it is. Oh man. Whoa, gimbal, what are you doing? Why my gimbal all of a sudden? I can't get it to center itself. It's like all of a sudden just decided I'm going to shoot off to the right. Whew. Somebody dropped a goo. Probably one of them bikers or somebody. But I don't take goos, but I don't want to leave trash on the trail. So we will pick that up and carry it back. If I cannot do goo, you want to talk about it's not even my stomach revolting, it's my throat. Like as soon as I put it in my mouth, my throat is like, nope, you ain't swallowing that. Because it's just, here I'm talking about how I love pastries and sugary stuff, but goo for me is so freaking sugary that I can't do it. It's more of a mouthfeel thing for me than anything. Because if I'm eating like a pastry, that's an enjoyable experience. And it might have more sugar in it than a goo, but and it's not because of the texture of the goo. I don't know how to explain it. Because I don't mind, you know, that kind of texture, like the thick syrupy texture stuff. I have a problem with that. Like I could eat a spoon of frickin' sweet condensed milk or whatever that is about the same consistency and I would have no issue with that. Oh, there's something about the goose. Because there's other gels that I can do that I don't have quite as issue with. I can do Morton's, but Morton's is like a thicker consistency. That's kind of a weird, like, solidified, congealed gel consistency. It's like if you took a goo and let it expire and get all hard and like thicker and gross. That's what a Morton's like. And I can handle Morton fine. Morton doesn't bother me at all. I used to do Spring Energy, and of course that was a little bit thinner and not as like sugary sweet as a goo as well, but oh man, the dog's gonna need a drink when we get to the top. She needs a drink now, but she can wait. You know when if you eat something that's like super sweet, like really sweet, in a weird way, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it'll kind of make your teeth hurt. That's kind of like the experience I have with goo gels. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Okay, we gotta keep pushing, even though I don't want to. Hammer gels are the same. Goo and hammer are the same for me. Can't do it. And again, it's not necessarily just because it's like super sweet and sugary. I don't know how to explain it. Like I can do freaking like those untapped little packets, which is, you know, they're the maple syrup stuff. I can do those. I can down one of those. No issues. And they're more liquidy, but they're just as sweet. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Like I said, like I can pretty much the exact same consistency of a goo or hammer gel would be like a can of sweet condensed milk. It's that exact same consistency. And I can do that. Like I said, I could take a spoonful of that and have zero issues. And that's what I should do for my race. Taking just take like little Ziploc bags and fill it with freaking sweet condensed milk. I wonder what that would be like. I only talk about sweet and condensed milk because that's what I had last night with my, it's on my brain because I had that last night. I wanted a little something sweet for dessert, and I noticed I had a can of sweet and condensed milk. So I made a couple pancakes, like small pancakes, and then just put that on it instead of like maple syrup, which I even had maple syrup, but I wanted to get rid of that because one, that can of condensed milk was almost expired. But and then this morning, where I talked about how I had like a little, like that sweet, like a sugary coating in my mouth, is because before we left, I actually did a spoonful of it, so I had a little bit left. I put some in my coffee this morning, which it actually makes a really good creamer if you're into that kind of thing. I'm not a huge creamer in my coffee person. But yeah, before we left, I just took and downed a big old spoonful of it. And that's why I had like a sugary thing. I had no problem with that. And that would be the exact same consistency as a goo gel. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me, but it is warm in this canyon. I am getting sweaty. There's zero wind right here. I mean, I can feel, I guess, a little bit of a breeze. But I know we're gonna get a heck of a breeze once we get towards the top. We're at 600 feet right now. I wonder what we get total. Like, I can't imagine we're gonna get another, is it 1,000 feet to the top? I don't remember. Right around there, so it'd be about another 400 feet of climbing is all. Over two miles? Is that about right? That's why I love this, running up this, because it's very much runnable, unless your legs are just not cooperating with you. What I should have done today, instead of running this, I should have taken the opportunity to go to Sedona, because that's only about an hour from here, and run that one section they just added to the race course, because I've never been on that trail, and it's supposed to be quite a doozy. Because there's a portion of it where it's like it's a cliff, like a couple 100-foot cliff. I know Kelly Vinson, she doesn't do well with heights, and she just ran that with Scott Traer, her significant other, just so that she could get familiar with it and see how it is. And she did not like it. But I have no problem on trails like that. But I want to be familiar with it, because I will be, 150 miles into the race at that point. So I'll probably be a little loopy and all that. So I want to make sure I'm familiar. I could see myself falling off that cliff, because I'll be a little, not moving. My balance won't be as good. I'll be so tired and all that kind of stuff. I think that's a section you can have a pacer, if I remember right. Once you get to the top, though, you can't. So I'm not sure if there's a spot that the pacers can leave, get off course or not. Maybe that's not a spot that they can have you can have a pacer. It might not be. Because I do know that once you get past one section on top, that you can have you can't have a pacer, but then there's a spot that they can like hike in like 1.5 miles and then rejoin you. But I think that's later on. That's probably up by like Fort Tunstall or Munns Park or something. Well, now we're in the canyon proper, or ravine. This ain't really, I guess it is a canyon, but it's more of a ravine for me. I'm thinking of a canyon as something that goes through. This starts up here. So it's like a ravine. And this isn't Black Canyon proper right here. That's about 10 miles to the west of us. Ooh, I just farted. This is the Black Canyon Trail, but like Black Canyon Creek is down at the bottom, and there's that road. That is Black Canyon. That is where the Black Canyon Creek is. I mean, technically, you could just go down the ravine. She's way down at the bottom looking up at me like, how do I get back up there? So I just try to tell her, you just go down the ravine. Just follow the base of the ravine. You'll, like the watershed, and you're going to join up with me. She's climbing that straight up. Here she comes. There she goes. Here she comes, there she goes. Well, depending on how many miles it is to the top, we might have exactly 2 miles left now. But we're almost to the gate, and I don't think to the saddle. So the thing is I can look at up on the hillside, way up there, and I can see the trail. And you're on the hillside, way up there, and I can see the trail. And you're like, oh, that's not very far away. Then you come back, and you still do a lot of like, oh, that's not very far away. Then you come back, and you still do a lot of like weaving in and out of the thing. So, I should have a signal back now. I can see the cell tower. Come on. I just pushed hard to get up here because I'll get my signal back. Oh. Oh man. Woo. We're almost to the saddle. Another quarter mile maybe. But again, this is the steepest part of the climb too. Oh, I just see when the expedition 12K is. This year. I know it's coming up the next few weeks, but if it's not when I'm going to be in California, I might just stick around to Montana and try and knock that race out, because at my current fitness level, I'd probably be podium spot easy. And we got some fast people. I can usually get some of the sub ultra pros from Bozeman and Missoula at that race 2 years ago. I did it. Last year I couldn't do it for some reason. I don't even know why. 2 years ago I raced it, and I was in horrible fitness. Like, I hadn't even done anything hardly all winter, and I was able to, I think I finished 12th. I made one guy really mad. He was trying to catch me on the last downhill, and going down on the single track, he did pass me, but the last like quarter mile is a paved road, and once I hit that, I was able to just freaking, speed up and just stride out and use my speed, and I went flying past that guy. And he was so mad because he spent 3 miles trying to catch me, and he did. And then in the last quarter mile I just flew past him. And afterwards he's like, gosh dang, he went past me so fast that I freaking felt that air move, like kind of pushed me over like a semi going, when it passes you on a freeway, and it makes you kind of, pushes the air out of the way and makes the vehicle move. That's how he felt. But I remember that race, like I started off with the leaders, like right around top 5. There was a group of about 5 of us, and you start off on that race and it's like the first half mile is, you know, maybe like an 8% grade, and then it just continues to get a little bit steeper, and then towards the top, after I think it's probably about a mile and a half, 2 miles to the top of the first little ridge that you go over, it probably tops out at like 18-20% grade. At my current fitness level, I could grind it out and not have to stop and walk. That year I had to walk, like way too steep. So the leaders got away from me, and then it was so snowy and icy. I was like slipping around, because then you drop down and you kind of weave around back and forth as you drop down the backside of that ridge for a couple miles, and then you have like a little bit of a flat section, and then you have to climb back up the ridge again before you crest the top, and then drop back down towards the finish line, which is like a probably 2 mile drop down to the finish line. But I had to go pretty slow on that descent, the first descent, because it was on the backside and there was still a lot of snow and ice, so because I never got any sun. And then I was so tired because I didn't have any fitness that the climb up on that side is fairly switchbacky. It's not, you know, getting cruise on that thing. I think where that one guy was parked. Oh, maybe it was up here on this hill. I thought he was back here though. I don't know. Either way, he's not here anymore. I don't think. Unless I just can't see him up here, but I think I would be able to. Whew. For some reason I was thinking that Expedition 12K is the same weekend as California. Somebody's hauling a big load of hay in for his cattle. gotta stop up here. Load of hay. Owies. I didn't even see a plant. I'm all bloodied. I didn't see any branch across the trail. I just all of a sudden just felt something grab the front of my quad. The dog catch back up. Here she comes. There she goes. The van's gone, but now there's a Jeep parked up there. So it was right there, pretty sure. This one, not the other one. We'll get up here and I think we're gonna, well, she's gonna get a drink and then we will back down. Wow, there is no wind up here. This is shocking. Like there's just that slightest little breeze. Compared to the other day when we did this run, we did our long run, it was horrible. You're talking like 30-mile-an-hour winds. Not as bad as there's a lot of dead trees up there, and I'm pretty sure I even heard like trees falling and getting blown over. It was hard to hear it because it's so windy. But at one peak, the Fly Peak up there, it was like I felt unsafe. And that was horrible. And I did take video, so I'm going to post a video on that. In fact, I'm going to do a TikTok and probably 2 TikToks. I'm going to try and get back into that again. And then I'm going to do an Instagram reel, YouTube short, and then a long form as well. Had a bug just fly down into hit me in the back of the throat. And strong to the top. It's like a little sandfly or something. When we first got here, because of all the moisture and everything, the sandflies were horrible. But like yesterday, last night, they weren't bad. Whew. All right, here. We're not going over there. No, we're not going that way. What kind of sign is this? Cosmic Cycles, Flagstaff, Arizona. Huh. Okay. You need a drink. Yeah. You need a drink and a snack. Yeah. You got lots of water. You can drink as much as you want, because you're not going to need another drink when you go back. What do we got here? We got Petal Peach. Yeah, you like this one because it has sweet potato in it too. Yep, that's a good one, huh? I don't know why they call it Petal Peach. You can't taste the peach, but you can taste the sweet potato. And then we got another one here. What other one do we got? We got Apple Apple, another one of your favorites. Go, good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. Do you need more water? Some more water. We'll save a little bit just in case. Just in case you need a little. Yeah, if you take off after something, you'll tire yourself out. Pretty sure that bug is still plastered to the back of my throat. Hi, sweet girl. She's not gonna want to turn around and go back. Ah. Ooh. See, there's a cell tower right there. I thought I got that tower, but maybe I do. Actually, I think I do. We were up here the other day though, and because all of a sudden I have 4 bars of 5G. I'm definitely not getting it from the tower that's over that way. But when we went here like 3 months ago, we came up here and we ran across the plateau and I didn't have jack shit for signal. I wonder if there was something going on with the tower maybe. Because I know I'm not getting that strong of a signal from the tower, which is, I can't even tell where it's at from here. Yeah, I can't even see the tower from here. I'm guessing it's probably there, but I can't tell where it's at. Everybody here has a white pickup truck. It's kind of weird. Where the heck is the cell tower at? Huh, I don't know. Anyways, we're just gonna go back now. We got to go back. So we made it not quite, we're not gonna be at 14 miles. We're not gonna make it to 14 unless you want to go a quarter mile down the plateau, turn right around and come back. That's okay. Oh, it was almost 1,100 feet of vert to the top. I was gonna say, I know once we hit the bottom, we have about 300 feet of vert to get back to where the van is. And I thought we did about 1,300 feet. I think we're gonna actually be closer to 1,400, maybe 1,500. Sorry, not on camera, jeez. I love when I just look up and my dog's just pooping on camera. God dang, that was a deuce. She just dropped a deuce. Did you not poop this morning? Nah, I know she pooped this morning. I saw her poop. Yeah, you. You silly girl. You're out here just making sure you fertilize the ground. Oh, I need to plug my camera in. It's about ready to die. It's a good thing I noticed. Good thing I noticed. Okay, say hello to my face. Here we go. Okay. I'm not excited about this. My legs are still not used to the downhill pounding, doing way better than they did. What was that? A week and a half ago when I did that big downhill on whatever that peak was. I don't remember what that peak was called. Ladybug Peak in the Mount Graham Wilderness area. That was freaking rough. Dropping 3,500 feet in, what was that, like 4 miles? It was like a 20% grade or more the whole time. Like my quads and everything, it was rough on that drop down. I better let her catch up or else she's gonna like full on sprint. I don't need her to see. Now I don't have, now it's back again. So I must be on that cell tower because I can't see this other cell tower. So I must be on the one up here. Right now, once I drop down a little ways, I can see the other cell tower, but because I don't have line of sight of this one over here very good, or at all. And as we drop down into that little gully, now we're climbing back out of it again, and my signal's coming back. It's definitely not the one in front of me because I'm blocked by a couple mountains. Well, not really, ridges, I guess, not mountains, because we're on a big plateau. I wonder what way is going to be the quickest. Get out of here. I think actually not getting back on the interstate for 3 miles. I don't know, it might be quicker. Because you're on the gravel road more if you go back towards the interstate. Because the freeway's way over there. Versus, like right up here, I can go that way and catch the Prescott Highway. Pretty sure that's a lot quicker. And it's all they all converge at the same place at the truck stop where I need to stop and get fuel. Oh, see, the Jeep left. He didn't stay very long. He was sitting right up on top of here. There clearly looks, this is confusing to me. If you look like right here, it looks like there's a trail coming down. But the trail doesn't go there. The trail's right down here. It looks like there's another one up here too. There's no trail coming from there that I know of. Like you get over there and that doesn't connect to anything. Must just be from the cows. she's just taking her sweet ass time. So again, she'll be able to see me for a long ways now. Like I can get all the way up over there on the trail. She could just cut across if she wants to. I'm just gonna go, oh, here she comes behind me. Slowly going by me. So she's just, now this is normal for her. She does not like doing out and backs. So now that we are going back on the out and back, she kind of gets, I think in some ways it's boredom, and we'll just go a different way. But this is normal. And then we'll get, after about a mile or so, she just figures out that, well, this is the way we're going. And then she'll pick the pace back up again. Now, if we come across somebody on the trail, or even better yet, if we come across a dog, then she will just all of a sudden have a burst of energy. Especially with a dog, she'll get the zoomies. She may not stop and say hi to the dog, but because she saw a dog, she will just get the zoomies and just like full on beast mode it down the trail. It's like she's trying to, you know, it's like if you're running on a street and, you know, you're doing a struggle bus a little bit, running like a 8-minute mile pace, and then coming from the other direction, all of a sudden there's a cute girl or a boy, whatever your preference is, and all of a sudden you're like, you speed up a little bit and you present yourself as doing a lot better than you are until you get past them. That's a lot like she does when she sees another dog. What is she doing? I think she can still see me. She knows I went past her. She knows her way back to the van. So she leaves me all the time, I'll leave her. I just don't like getting too far ahead of her, because then she like sprints as fast as she can. Because she freaks out a little bit to catch up. I don't want her to get... Yeah, see, I got too far away because now she's sprinting. Because that makes her get more hot and tired. If I had a place with that balloon, I'd pick it up too. I don't really have anywhere I can put it. right there. I could go around it, but I don't know why I don't actually. It's not like it's a whole lot further. An extra 15 feet maybe to go around it. I must be stepping on things again. I'm gonna have to check her out for cactuses and stuff. Now I'm at that point where I must not be on that cell tower because I can see it and I don't have signal. Very good signal anyways. So I must just be on the one over here by the freeway. Oh, it's a bird. I'm like, what are you hearing? It was a bird, sweet girl. It just flew off. You are the most non-observant dog I've ever met. How's that saying go? A bird in the hand is worth more than two in the bush or something like that. She was still looking for the bird in the bush. There's only one of them. It had flown out of the bush already. Is my mile or my speed thing working? I don't even see it. Did I not even turn it on? No, I didn't. What happens if I turn it on? Oops. See if I can. Okay, let's start moving and see if the speed picks up or not. It says 3 miles an hour. We're actually doing 6. Doing less than 6, or more than 6, I mean. Maybe it just takes a while to update. I'll go a little bit further, see. I've never actually tested it. Cause usually when I'm reading it, I am doing 3 miles an hour. That says 4, we're doing well, we're way past that. I think it just takes a little bit to come up. I don't think it's that accurate. Because we are doing, yeah, we're doing about 6.2, 6.3, somewhere around there. Yeah, it's not accurate. I think I'm just gonna turn it off. It is not accurate. I mean, I guess I could turn it on just so it's more interesting to people. It gives them something to talk about how, boy, you're not going very fast. It's because it's not accurate. Whatever. We'll just turn it back on. Ooh. Here I am tripping on things that I have no business tripping on. Okay, hold on everybody. That's why my dog is like just standing there looking up this direction. Like giving an eye to make sure I was still coming. I gotta take care of something. I had to take care of something. I can barely walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. Okay, let's see if we get through this section as fast as we can so that we don't lose the stream. This is the first section for signal. We're kind of deep in this little ravine. Now I know there wasn't like an ice sheet here, but you know, in the same type of aspect as, you know, like up Montana we had the Laurentide ice sheet. So, you know, it's like 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers thick, whatever. US look like. US look like. Yeah, like I said, US, like down into Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and all the way over. Mountains or whatever probably had some Arctic glaciers on it, or alpine glaciers, not Arctic. Alpine glaciers start with an A, but actually I don't even know if that volcanic system is that old. I would guess it would be. What was it, like 15, 16,000 years ago? I'll bet you that volcano was probably a couple million years old, wouldn't it? Maybe not. No, it can't be that old, because you'd think if it was that old, it would be way more eroded. That's still an active volcanic system there. That means within the last 10, 20,000 years, it's probably when it last exploded. Like the big explosion that destroyed the volcano. Like you see all the remnants of the peaks and the crater and everything going around it, but that mountain was a good 4,000 or 5,000 feet higher than it is. No, it's actually pretty close to 6,000 feet. I think it was over 18,000 feet is what they estimated. At the time, it would have been the highest mountain in North America, I think, or the U.S. anyways, or the lower 48. I'm sure Mount Denali was probably higher that time. would love, like one of my bucket list things is to go and hike. Well, I really want to run up it, but I can't, is go up Kilimanjaro. But because of the way that the government runs that, you know, because it's a huge tourist thing, like you're required in order to climb that mountain, you have to get a permit. And the way you can get a permit is to go through a, you know, like a, what do you call it, a service, but you know, where they, you know, carry your things and all that kind of stuff for you, whatever you call it. And then it's like a 6-day thing. You know, they milk it for as much as they can. Like some of the days you're only going like 3 miles up on a hike. And it's like, are you freaking kidding me? So for somebody like me that's used to doing higher mountains all the time, it's not a big deal. I mean, it makes sense for a lot of people that probably do it. They're just doing it. You know, they're not experienced hikers. They're probably not the most fit. You know, that kind of stuff. They haven't been above, you know, 4,000 feet, let alone 20,000 feet. So for them, you know, they need to take that, go for 3 miles, get used to, acclimated to the altitude, you know, take it slow or whatever. But for someone like me, it's like at the most 2 days, but I could do it in 1 day because it's not that far from base to top. It's like I think round trip is only like, you know, maybe 50K. Like I watched a video. He hasn't done a lot of videos. I used to love watching it. And I know he got busy. He tried to find somebody to do editing for him and stuff. I don't know if it just never worked out or what, but Full Tilt Ward, he was like famous a few years ago. Everybody talked about it. I know he did like the race I'm doing. And everybody on the live stream knew him. I knew him because I watched his YouTube, but everybody was cheering him on. But him and his daughter did that, and that was his biggest complaint, is he tried to find somebody where he could just go up and down, like, you know, not spend the week doing it. And he was able to find somebody that kind of broke the rules, we'll say. And they pushed up, I want to say like, no, I think the way up they couldn't push it any faster. But then on the way down he convinced them and they were able to go all the way down in 1 day. Which they were like supposed to do. So the guy kind of broke the rules or whatever, bent the rules maybe. The porter system, porter or whatever they hired. And I know they have like races over there. I've always wanted to do like one of the trail races over in that area. But it's not like a, you know, competitive, you know, race. It's more of a, you know, hobby race. You know, people that do it are just there. It's like a destination race, you know, type of thing. It's not a race. It's still a race, you know, somebody's gonna win, but it's not like any of your professional athletes are gonna be there. It's like, you know, your mid to backpack people that are doing it just for the experience. Kind of like that marathon that they do down in Antarctica. The only people that do that are the ones that are trying to do the 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. It's the only thing it caters to people. And you do get some good runners doing that. Because there is a competition for like the fastest, you do all 7 of them or whatever. It's not necessarily the winner, but and something like that would be kind of cool too. I remember last year, I think it was, I guess her name. She's like a super good ultra runner. She has like, always has her token like red hair, long red hair. I think she won like Badwater 135 a couple years ago, or maybe even last year. I don't know what her name is. Why can I not think of her name? I have no idea. I don't know what her name is, but I know she did it last year. I might just save up, see if I can save up and just deal with it and be like, pay for the porter, you know, contribute to the tourism, because it's a huge industry for them. That's why they force people to have to do it that way. The government does. The only way you get a permit is to go through a porter business, and then it's required. You have to do it in so many days, so you're paying for that in so many days. And then you always want to make sure, one thing I've learned is when you're doing that kind of stuff, you always want to make sure you at the end you tip them. It's like a customary, you have to tip them a customary amount or whatever, and then they do like this whole ceremony at the end and stuff. It's like it's clearly just for, you know, the whole tourism thing. It's not like a local culture custom or anything like that. Something they made up just for the tourism. That's why, like this next year, I really want to go to Europe around Christmas time. And so I've been, one of the girls I watch on TikTok does a lot of travel blog stuff. And I really like her channel because she does like really helpful informational videos. All her stuff is. So it's like, you know, don't fall for these scams over in, you know, France or, you know, whatever it happens to be, because she has a lot of experience on different things. And like I learned when I was over there, like she had a video on travel and stuff. And like that's why I had my Eurorail pass, because she broke it down like, if you're going to do this and this and this, this is probably most beneficial, but also be aware that if you have the rail pass and you want to do like a reserved seat, it's going to cost you extra. And like some trains you can only do reserved seats, so even though your base cost on the rail, and it kind of broke it down like, you know, unless you're going to travel this much, it's not really worth it. Well, for me it was worth it because I did a lot of travel. Like if I had to pay for each train ticket, I probably would have spent an extra probably 1,500 euros throughout the whole trip, because every 2 days I was taking a train ride, and each day I probably, because I usually wasn't on, I don't know, I guess most of the time I was on one train, but even then it still would have been like, you know, anywhere from 40 to 50 euros each train ride. And so if I had to like swap trains or whatever, you you're talking 120 to 200 euros for me to get to where I was going. So you add that up over 90 days, like, you know, total I was probably 30 or 40 trains at, you know, thinking conservatively, you know, 50 bucks a pop. That's what is that, like 1,500 euros or more? 2,000 euros? I don't know. I'm trying to do public math. Anyways, I paid 600 bucks for my Eurail pass. So I definitely saved money there. Ooh, geez, gimbal again went all crazy on me. And for me, like, flying didn't make sense. Yeah, I could have got a Ryanair flight for, 20, 30 bucks a lot of times, or 20, 30 euros, I should say, a lot of times. And it would have made the trip way faster than taking a train, but I like taking the train because I got to see more of the country. Like, it was awesome. Like, I would never know about the Tatras Mountains if it wasn't for me taking a train from Kosice to whatever the hell that other town was that I was going to, and basically going from as far east in Slovakia, taking a train north along the northern border between that and Poland all the way to as far east in the Czech Republic as you can get. Whatever that town was, it was definitely like a industrial. It was the only town where I felt the most unsafe, because you could tell, like, it was a rundown post-communist industrial town. People didn't have a lot. Like, the hotel I was in was just kind of this junky little hotel. I had to walk from the train station to the hotel like a mile and a half or so, and like, you're going through, next to buildings that have broken windows and people just looking completely poverty stricken on the streets and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't a big town by any means. And then even the downtown, I went and explored like the old town, I guess you could say. And it was pretty cool there, but it was tiny, like a tiny old town, even though the town itself was fairly big because of the industrial complex. There's definitely like post-communist like feeling of a town. Kosice was that way too, but the old town part of Kosice was really cool. Kosice reminded me of like a European, like, it had an old town like neighborhood, but like they also, like, scattered amongst the old town was also like a European Las Vegas. Like, there was casinos everywhere and stuff like that. It was a little weird. But like, I went running to this little mountain outlook that was nearby. And it was about a 10-mile run to get to the top of that. It was pretty cool little run, actually. I didn't pay money to go on up the actual outlook tower, but at the top was like the old, all you could see was some of the old foundation of this castle that used to exist there, but it had been like wiped away from history, this castle. Well, the reason why they know it even existed was because they found, ouch, gosh dang, I stepped on a rock run. They found like the old foundation, like the stones and stuff. But you could look off in the distance and like up on the hillside, kind of over next to on the foothills, because we were in the foothills of the Carpathian Mountains right there. And you could see like these huge, like these old communist apartment buildings and industrial buildings and stuff, even in that town. Like it was stark contrast between like the old town area where I was staying, because that's where the train station even went into, and like the outskirts like that. One of the favorite countries that I went through though was Slovenia. And that train, well, the train going from I remember where I jumped on the train right outside of Venice, I guess, on the outskirts of Venice. I hopped on this rickety old train going to Ljubljana, Slovenia, but the views were awesome. That was by far probably that train wasn't so bad. It was definitely not a modern trail, put it that way, but the one actually going from Kosice to across Slovakia was probably worse. Even the one from probably the train I took from Croatia to Hungary wasn't that good of a train either. But the countryside on that train ride in Slovenia, man, talk about scenery. It was so cool. Yeah, it was super cool. Ljubljana itself was really cool too. All the hostels were like super expensive in more of the older part of town in Ljubljana. So it was actually cheaper for me. I went on the outskirts a little bit and stayed. I didn't even know these existed in Europe. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. And it was pretty cool. Like the people, especially out there, like I was exploring downtown area in Ljubljana for a couple days, but I'd have to run like 2 miles just to get to the old town. And then you're exploring all around. Like the old town of Ljubljana was so cool. Like that was awesome. But the people, like on the outskirts, like stuff. I almost took her up on it, but just trying to be friendly. And that breakfast they had there, God, they completely different than you're gonna find at a freaking Holiday Inn Express over here in the U.S. I'll tell you that. It was like local stuff and just tons of food, like all you could eat. Like a ton of food, fresh food. It's like the where the heck was I? Pretty much like every hostel I stayed in had just fantastic breakfast spreads in the morning. That was my only meal I ate most days, was that breakfast. Like, it was really good. And it was like you could eat as much as you wanted. So I would like overeat, which sucked because then, like, during the day, I'm going for a run. So now you're running. Even I wasn't like running super fast because this is after my race. So I was still recovering, you know, because I just did a 100-mile race with, you know, 35,000 feet of vert, whatever it was. But summers and see the sights and then run a little bit. But I was still doing like, you know, anywhere from 15 to 20 miles a day, seeing all the tourist sites just by my feet running around. But definitely my stay in Krakow, Poland, that place, not only was the hostel, I had like a single room. Well, I didn't even like have a share a room with anybody there, and their breakfast in the morning was, oh, their room was super nice. It was only like 35 euros a night, and the food there was so good. And even the breakfast experience was really good. You were down in like the basement, which used to be like an old wine cellar, you know, back in the day. That was super cool. I'm trying to remember where I was at though. Kosice, the hostel I stayed there, they had a really good breakfast. Where the heck was I though that was like so good? Like Budapest, I stayed at a hotel. They had a good breakfast spread. And that hotel was pretty cheap. It was a super nice hotel too. It was super cheap. But it might have been Prague. The hostel I stayed at there was like, they had a good breakfast spread. I'll never forget when I was running there. I was there for what, 3 days, I want to say. And the first day, like that, after breakfast, I went and get ready to go for my run. I asked the lady, I'm like, hey, because they're broken up into, you know, their city neighborhoods or whatever, broken up into precincts or whatever you want to call it. I don't remember what their actual term is, but that's basically what it was. Wards. Kind of reminded me of like New Orleans, you know, with the different wards. Well, even Helena has like 6th Ward is up by the railroad, that area. But I was talking to the lady at the front desk, and I'm like, hey, I'm just wondering, like, because you never know with these big cities. I was like, is there like any, so I'm getting ready to go for a run, you know, where I'm going to be doing anywhere from like, you know, 40 to 50 kilometers. I'm like, just to see the city. I'm like, is there any like neighborhoods that I want to kind of steer clear of because they're not as safe? And she looked at me all confused, like, what are you talking about? It's not safe. Like, everything is safe here. And I was like, okay. Because she was like, no, you're safe. And I don't think she understood or how much, like, actually running 50 kilometers around the city was going to be. Like, I'm not just going and hitting all the sites. I'm, like, running, you know. And I ran through trying to get from like one place to another, like these kind of touristy sites. I was in one area, like there was nothing around there. It was just this highway going to this old, I don't know what it was, like a convent or something of that. Probably an old like fort or something, I don't remember. But like there was no sidewalks, there was no like nothing out there. No businesses of any kind, no houses, anything. And I was out there, and it was definitely not something that tourists went to either. But I thought it was pretty cool. There was like no tour buses or nothing going out that way. But to get from there over to where the next one was, I had to go through like total like this residential area. And I definitely felt out of place. Not necessarily unsafe, but I was out of place. And by the time, you know, this is later in the day, so by the time I was coming back, you know, kids are getting out of school. So like I ran by this, I guess you could call it a primary school, or oh, clearly they did not see anybody running around those neighborhoods. But like this is my shortest distance to get back, so I'm just like weaving around streets, back and forth, whatever. Like I love doing that kind of stuff because you get to see culturally a lot of stuff that you wouldn't normally get to see. And then the funniest thing was when I was in Vienna, right before I was flying back, and I was running around. I wanted to go over to where that little carnival area was. And while I'm going down these streets, it was cool. Like the street I was going down, obviously there was a lot of like music schools and stuff in that area. So you'd see people carrying their cellos or violins or whatever, going to school. And that was really cool. But I'll never forget, I was like looking off and I see this church, and I loved going to see the churches because the, you know, architecture and stuff is really cool. And I was like, look at that. Like I could see the top spires on it. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. That looks like some sort of like Orthodox church, you know, of some sort. My first thought was like a Latvian Orthodox. But then I got over to it, and the guys in military uniforms, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, I'm in Austria. Those are not Austrian uniforms. I'm like, I swear, like in my head, I'm like, I swear that looks like, you know, Russian soldiers. And so I left and continued on my way on my run and everything. Well, then when I got back to my hotel, because I was just staying in a hotel that was directly across the street from the train station to take to the, because there was a direct like metro line, I guess you could say, that went to the airport from there. So I just stayed like right across the street there. It was a little away from a lot of the sites I wanted to see, but by then, you know, this is like, you know, 2 months after my race. Not quite 2 months, I guess, probably about a month and a half after my race. So I'm my dog coming? Yeah, she is. My legs are feeling a lot better, so I'm doing like lots of miles. Like I said, Prague, which was the stop right before that, I went from Prague to Vienna. I was doing, you know, I did 50K one day. I did, you know, at least 30K the other day I was there. And so in Vienna, I was doing pretty much the same thing. And dog, you're taking my sweet ass time. My dog still hasn't got out. She's like in shiny thing mode right now. She's like, oh, shiny thing. I guess we'll just take our time. It's fine. But I got back to the hotel, finish my story, dumbass. And you coming? Yeah, you're hot now because you were sprinting around chasing something. And we still got 3 miles left. Anyways, I was looking at the map, And that church sat right next to the Russian embassy. So here I am taking pictures, clearly a foreigner, taking pictures. Of course so the embassy, guarded by these freaking Russian soldiers, are definitely eyeballing me and making sure I'm not doing something. Like, oh, yeah, that's kind of awkward. If I would have known that was a Russian embassy, I wouldn't have been taking pictures. What is she doing? She must have stepped on something. She's looking at her feet. Here she comes. She's clearly like freaking hot and tired now because she must have been sprinting after freaking rabbit or something. That's what I warned her. I told her not to do that. Yeah, I told you. You need me to look at your paw? Come here. Come here, sweet girl. Let me look at your paw. You got something on it? Here, let me look. Here, let me look at your paw. Pick it up. Yeah, you got something stuck in there. Let me get it. Ow! Ow! Oh! Ow! Gosh, dang it, that fucking hurt. Yeah, you had something stuck in there. Ow-wee! Okay, that hurt trying to pull that out. Freaking little cactus briar of some sort that was just stuck deep in between her toes. And it had spinies on it, so I'm trying to grab a hold of it so I could pull it out. That thing did not want to let go. Finally got it out of her paw, and then it was stuck in my thumb, and I couldn't get it out of my thumb. That freaking hurt. Goodness gracious. No wonder she was not wanting to run. And, because it was hurting, obviously, while I'm trying to pull it out of her paw, and then she's trying to bite my finger as I'm trying to, like, grin and grimace through the pain to grab a hold of it to pull it out, because the more I tried to grab a hold of it, the more it hurt, and then having to pull it out hurt. Man, my thumb still hurts. I would bet her paw still hurts. Gosh dang. Like, that freaking hurt. How about you stay on the trail so I don't have to do that again? I don't know if I could, now that I know how much that hurt. I don't know if I could do it again. Oh, geez. You step on something again? Or is it just that it hurts still? Because my thumb still hurts. I bet your paw still hurts. I'm having that jammed in there. I didn't even know there was anything out here that had little briars like that. It kind of reminded me of like those little stickers from a tumbleweed, only 5 times bigger, harder, and bigger spines on it. Like, it looked like full-on like needle. It's probably from some sort of like, something like this. It was probably like, see these little batches, little clusters? That's probably what it was actually. It was one of those that fell off, that she somehow got stuck in her foot, in between her toes. That's exactly what it looked like. All I know is it fucking hurt. And I took that leather glove I used to just carry around with me when we were training for the US 100 Mile Championship, doing all that road running. She kept stepping on the freaking cholla, so I had to keep pulling that out. So I would just carry that leather glove so I could do it all the time. She'd have it stuck on her, the cholla on her face or on her paw or whatever it happened to be. Usually it was stuck on her paw, and then she would pull it out of her paw with her mouth, and then it would be stuck on her face, like on her lips and whatever. So then I'm having to try to pull it off. Well, it's just a big pin cushion, so I had to carry that leather glove with me all the time. Well, I stopped carrying it because it wasn't an issue up until just now. Oh, I haven't mentioned this for quite a while, but it is getting really hot out. Like that wind, what little breeze there is anymore, is not a cold, frigid breeze like it was at the beginning. It is hot. Whew, I need a drink. Mouth is dry. Got about 2 miles left. A little over, actually. It might be pretty close to 2, I guess. Actually, it should be, if my watch is accurate, and it is exactly the same distance up as it is down, we are exactly 2 miles out. So. Because we're at 6.9 to the top, and we are now at 11.8. And 6.9 to the top would be 13.8 round trip. So, we're actually now at 11.84. Back when I said exactly 2, we were right at 11.8. I figured out those markings back there where I was like, did somebody come out here with a freaking like motorized dirt bike? Like, you're not supposed to be on those trails. No, it was a fat tire e-bike, because it was clearly the guy that came and said hi to me a couple days ago was the one that was riding it. And again, even if it's an e-bike, that's motorized. That has an electric motor on it. You're not supposed to be on these trails. Luckily there wasn't a car coming. My dog doesn't even look. She's just like, she's just going. Oh man, this is uphill now the rest of the way. My legs were tired at the beginning of this thing. 12 miles in, even the slightest uphill, I'm like, holy cow. Plus, it is, like I just said, noticeably warmer now too. The sun is just baking, and I can feel that as well affecting me. Like I never used to wear hats whenever I go for a run, but I learned real quick down here in Arizona I needed to wear a hat even when it's like 30 degrees out. Wear a hat if it's sunny. That sun is no joke. Now I have more hats than I know what to do with. I don't even have a place for them. I'm gonna have to go through, and one of them I just need to get rid of probably. I got a replacement for it. I hate to get rid of stuff though. I can just put it in my storage locker, I guess. Oh. Where's she going? I guess she's just gonna go up over the top of the ridge. Hopefully she catches up. Because that is the wrong direction from the direction we're going. She'll probably, knowing her, she'll do like a freaking half circle. Be up ahead of us in no time. Stopping. Wait, yeah, there she is. So she was doing a half circle. We just beat her. I said she knows. She knows where the trail is and how to get back to the van. We have ran out here in this area a lot in her short little life. That's like the weirdest sounding side by side I've ever heard in my life. It almost sounds like a lawnmower, or like, for me it makes me think of like a rototiller. And when you have the choke set too high and it's just idling up and down, up and down, up and down. That's what that sounds like. Like, at first I was like, what the hell is that? And then I saw the top of the OHV, so I was like, oh, that's what it is. It sure don't sound like one. At first I was like, oh, maybe that person is using some sort of like a gas powered pump or something of some sort over here mining, because it was kind of in that direction when I heard it. But nope. So it was. Holy cow, my legs are kaput. Legs are kaput. I think we'll probably be, I was guessing 1,400 feet over today, but I think we're only going to be like 1,200. And we'll see. I do have quite a bit of uphill to do still, I guess. I don't know if I have, what, 250 feet of uphill to make it to 14. 1170 right now. And just that last, what, quarter mile alone is probably 100 feet. So I guess, no, I don't think it's 100 feet. Might be, I don't know. My thumb is finally not hurting again, because that just was stinging. I had to grab a hold of that freaking old briar or whatever it was. Yeah, I think it's probably that little, whatever this stuff is. I don't know if that's the type of cholla or what, but. Whew. Chasing something again. Well over a mile left. I see the little knob that we have to go around. Yeah. Oh, that's it right there. Okay, I do see it. It is still quite a ways off, so I guess it makes sense that it's a mile. Oh man, I'm like freaking roasting right now. That's probably one reason why I feel so tired. Well, one, I didn't sleep well last night. That's the main reason why I feel so tired. But I also get more tired in the heat. That is good heat training for me. That's really why I came down here, is heat train for this race. So. Unfortunately, it just hasn't been that warm since I've been down here. It wasn't until, what, 2 days ago that I experienced over like 70 degrees in the last month. Even then, really, I didn't really experience the heat. Well, you drove through Tucson and it was like 92 or something. But I was inside the van, so you know, climate control. It's not like I was out in the heat. It's probably only like 70 degrees out right now. Because I don't think the high is supposed to be much higher than that. That breeze does help, even though it's not frigid like it was this morning. Well, one is coming out a completely different direction. It's coming from the south now instead of the north. But that sun, there's zero clouds. sun is just baking. The real field's probably like 85 or something, which for a boy from Montana, that feels quite comfortable in 50 degrees. This is hot. It feels hot anyway. Oh. I think what I might do is, I think we might push past where I was planning on staying tonight. Well, really, that's where I was planning on staying last night. Because it would have worked out if it was last night. It doesn't necessarily work out timing wise since I stayed here an extra day, extra night. There's a place, I don't know, like half hour north of Kanab that would be a really cool place to camp out. I could at least get a little bit of a run in there in the morning because that road goes quite a ways. I'd have to have her on a leash, but that's fine. And then that way it's only like I think from there it's like at the most 11 hours of driving, but I don't even think it's that much. But at least I would be in the right time zone then as well. And that way I can get back to Montana at least a more reasonable time tomorrow night, so that I can get my long runs in this weekend, which I'm hoping the area I want to go isn't going to have too much snow still. If it does, I might have to convince one of my friends to be like, hey, I'll watch my dog while I go for a 5-hour run. I would just run the roads around the valley. You wouldn't get hardly any vert, but at least I'd get the time on feet. And then, like I said, I was already thinking about like maybe on Sunday doing a streamiversary, because I haven't done one yet. I'm a month overdue, just hasn't worked out schedule-wise. My 6-year streamiversary on Twitch of doing this running channel, and trying to figure out how to do something. Like, my main goal would be just to go up and down Mount Helena 10 times, maybe. That'd be about 20 miles with about 11,000 feet of vert. I could crew out of my van, which would be pretty easy. I have to do some of this for subs or whatever. My initial thought's like for every sub, do an extra up, but like I said, what if somebody dropped like a frickin' 5-bomb gifted sub, or even more than that? I'd be there for a week trying to knock out all them up downs. Like 10 times alone, I'm going to be beat. I don't even know if I can do 10 times up down. It would be definitely a good training block for me. But I'd be live for, gosh, if I was able to just keep doing them, that'd be like 10 hours. I can't do it at nighttime, so I'd almost have to be like, if people gifted, then I just have to keep going out each day, like staying live somehow, doing other things, just make it like a 24-hour, stay live, and then continue on in the morning. I have no idea. I don't know what I do. I'd have to figure out a different setup for streaming though, because I mean, there I have good signal, so I'd be able to set up a different, more just on my computer, and then read my chats on my phone, and have like a, I don't know, could I set up my action camera to send via RTMP to OBS? Probably. Fool around with that. Of course, by the time I want to do it, I wouldn't have time to fool around with it. I know somehow you can do it, but I've never been able to make it work. I tried once before. Actually, using my action camera as just my as more of like a webcam by doing it that way, and I could never get it to work. Like a webcam that I could around, you know, type of thing, a lot easier, so it was wirelessly. Like way back in the day, I had a Nessa cam. So when I was like either doing gaming streams or whatever, or, you know, I still doing push-ups, you know, for every follow even back then, then I could just grab that camera and use as like my push-up cam or whatever, you know, whatever it happened to be. But I could never get it to connect. I don't know why. But it's an older Action, it's an Action 3. Like the Action 4 is a lot easier to connect. And there's that Action 5 now that I really like to get. But it is expensive. Like, I know you can do it with like the like your GoPros, like the Black 10 or whatever it is. But the comparison, if you actually look at the Osmo Action cams, are actually have higher quality than the GoPros. Because they're easy to use, easy to set up, but the video quality on those is like not even close to what a GoPro can do, let alone what a Action 4, Action 5 can do. Okay, I got a quarter mile left. This hill. We might get 1,300 feet of vertical. So, as is customary, I always talk to Chad as we're going up. I'm just gonna walk. This is my cool down. So. yeah, now we can be more personable. I can look at you and talk to you versus being behind the camera and talking to you. How's it going, Chad? How's everybody doing? Go ahead and, if you're on YouTube or Twitch, I can see your guys. So go ahead and talk. Say hi. Give me your questions, if you have any. Of course, as soon as I show my face, I lose like all my viewers on Twitch. They're like, "Oh, gross. I don't want to see that." In reality, it's probably because they know I'm almost done. So they're like, "Oh, we're done. We're moving on." Where I would be willing to rate somebody if somebody was on, but usually I can't see. One, I'd have to log on to my laptop so that I could actually hit the raid button. Because I don't remember the commands. I could use my iPad and search and see if there's anybody alive worth raiding, but then I'd still have to know what the command is. Like, I don't even remember what it is. Exclamation point raid probably, and then space, and then the name. I don't know if that's it or not. Because then I could do it off of this. Otherwise, I can just bring up my actual stream manager on my... I mean, I can bring the stream manager up on here, but as soon as I do that, I lose the feed. My iPad is tied to my mod account, so I can't... I'd have to like log out and then authenticate to log into my actual streaming account. Because I don't think, can a super mod do a raid? Initiate a raid? Probably, right? But Rachel isn't here. She's my only super mod. Well, now it's not a big deal because I only have like one person. Everybody left. There's only one person on Twitch, which is probably my mod account. But who knows? Usually by this time, my mod account is like frozen or whatever. It needs to be refreshed so it doesn't show up. So I might truly have one person still. But they definitely did leave as soon as I showed my face. I didn't think I was that unattractive, but I guess so. Like, I don't consider myself to be the most attractive guy in the world. But also, I don't think I'm the most unattractive guy either. Not so unattractive that I show my face and people are like, gross, and leave the stream. In reality, they probably left before that. It just took that long for my dashboard to catch up. Sometimes it does that. Sometimes it takes a good minute or two to realize that people left, because it goes from here to Stream Elements to Twitch. A lot of, in a weird way. For the dashboard part of it, I should say. Like, if I just went straight off of, if I didn't use Stream Elements, I could connect, my dashboard could connect straight to Twitch, and then it would be like live. I'd be able to tell, well, semi-live. It'd probably still take 30 seconds or whatever, because you still rely on the connectivity. But, whew, okay, well, that's gonna be it, everybody. I will not see you guys tonight. Probably will not see you guys tomorrow morning. Possibly might see you tomorrow night. If we get to Helena quick enough, then we're going to probably get a little bit of a run in, maybe hit 10 Mile Creek or something. But we'll see. Anyways, that's going to be it, everybody. Thanks for joining me today on today's, what ended up being a 14 miler, not a 15. But like I said, I knew it wasn't going to be 15 once we decided to not go over the ridge. Originally, I was going to go up on this ridge to get extra vert and then drop down that way. And that would have added an extra mile easy. So, but that's going to be it, everybody. Thanks for joining me. We got 1,312 feet of vert today. Not a big day, but it is what it is. Probably a good thing because my legs are tired. But thanks for joining me. And we will see you guys next time. What do you got stuck on you here, you weirdo? Bye, everyone.